Hello everyone, it is MTEN here, back with another Terraria 1.4 Journey's End video, and today we are doing another max stats video, but this time it is the big one. We are discussing the highest base damage for each class in Terraria 1.4 Journey's End. So, as said, this video is focusing on base damage of each weapon. That is the damage that you will see when you click or mouse over a weapon. For example, this Bloodthorn has a base damage of 54. I'm not focusing on the maximum DPS for each weapon or damage per second. It is just seeing that number underneath the name of the weapon and trying to get it as high as possible. I've organized a specific loadout for each different weapon class, that is melee, ranger, magic, and summoner, various accessories, buffs, and all that good stuff, and we'll be working out what is the highest base damage for each class and what weapons to use for each of them. Very briefly, before jumping into class specifics, I'm going to cover the weapon that has the highest base damage overall for any class, and it doesn't have any specific class-based damage, and that is explosive bunnies. These are fired from the bunny cannon and crafted with bunnies and dynamite, and they have a base damage of 350. This base damage is not affected by any sort of buff whatsoever. No matter what class, no matter if it's just a generic damage buff, this is not going to affect the base damage of this weapon. Dynamite and explosives and that sort of thing will deal more damage, but they do not have a base damage on their tooltip, so they will not be included. Hey everyone, it's MTEN. Before I jump into this video, I just want to say thank you so much for 80,000 subscribers. That is an absolutely amazing milestone. But over 90% of my viewers aren't subscribed. So if you want to see more content like this and you want to support the channel in a free and easy way that supports the channel heaps, make sure to smash that subscribe button. My goal is to reach 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so if we could achieve that goal, that would be absolutely amazing. Anyway, let's jump into the video. So first of all, I'm just going to look at accessories that are required for every single class. This is in master mode at the moment, so we have 7 accessory slots, and for every class you are going to want Wrath Potions and the Christmas Pudding buff, and these 4 accessories: the Menacing Destroyer emblem, the Menacing Putrid Scent, Avenge emblem, and the Celestial Shell, because these deal generic increases to damage. The Putrid Scent is removed for one of the classes, but I'll go over that a bit later. The other thing I would like to point out is make sure to have all of your accessories reforged to Menacing. Now, from there, you're going to need a few other things in this setup. You are going to want to have the Nebula Armor and a Bloodthorn or Nettle Burst or equivalent magic weapon, as well as 2 crab statues set up to a 1-second timer. You're going to want to have the Shrimpy Truffle active, and you're also going to want to have a bat statue set up, because bats will provide the feral bite debuff, and then the cute Fishron mount will provide a 15% damage debuff when it's either raining or when it's in submerged in liquid there. So with that all out of the way, let's move on to class specifics. We're going to look at melee class first. So on top of the generic buffs for all classes that I discussed earlier, you are also going to want the Ale debuff. For armor, you are going to want to replace the Solar Helmet and feet with the Shinobi Infiltrator's Helmet and Hallowed Greaves, because the Solar Set bonus does not increase damage, and only the Breastplate actually increases melee damage. The Shinobi Helmet increases melee damage by 20%, and the Hallowed Greaves increase melee damage by 7%. As far as the accessories go, you're going to want the Fire Gauntlet, the Warrior Emblem, and the Mechanical Glove. Now, these are all going to be reforged to Menacing. So I'm going to be showcasing 2 weapons for this loadout. They are the Meow Meow and the Psycho Knife. No, the Zenith is not the most... is not the melee weapon with the highest base damage. It has a base damage of 190, 218 here because of the godly prefix. And meanwhile, the Meow Meow has a 200 base damage. But I'm also going to showcase the Psycho Knife, because despite having a regular 85% or 85 melee damage base, when you're in stealth mode, which means you're holding the knife and standing still, it decreases your movement just like any other stealth mode things. it increases the power of the weapon by 300%. So it becomes 340 melee damage. We can also see the attack power of other weapons increase whilst you are holding the Psycho Knife. However, that is not reflected in if I quickly switch to the Meow Me, for example. It will not deal 800 damage. It'll just deal its regular 200. Meanwhile, the Psycho Knife, if I go into stealth mode, we saw the first hit there was 357, which was a massive increase to the 85 base damage. And then the next thing we're going to do is put on our melee armor. Let's put all the accessories back. But something you'll notice here is the base damage of the Meow Me is now 575, and the Psycho Knife base damage in stealth is only 499, which doesn't make any sense, because the Psycho Knife originally, when in stealth, had a higher base damage than the Meow Me when the Meow Me was not in stealth. These are percentage-based increases, and what's happened is that the percentage base increase is done on top of the original base damage of the weapon, and then the 300% from the stealth buff is activated on top of that. And that's why you're seeing a discrepancy, and why after a certain point the Meow Me is actually more powerful. If I'm in stealth here, the Meow Me does 1387 melee damage, or at least shows that it does, even though it doesn't really. What prefixes are you going to want for your weapons? You are going to want the Ruthless prefix on your weapons, because that provides 18% damage increase. Okay, so let's activate our buffs. We have the Werewolf buff now because it's nighttime. We have the Ruthless modifiers on our weapons, but now we're going to need to do a few things. First of all, we're going to need to switch into the Nebula gear, and we're going to turn on those crab statues with a 1 second timer, and we're going to stand a little far away and let the Bloodthorn do its thing. I'm also going to drop into God mode real quick so I can just do this infinitely. And what we're looking for is pink boosters. So these are the damage boosters, and you can have 3 of them which stack up to 45%. I like to get a little more than 3. Personally, I think it's just a little bit easier that way, just making sure that I have more than enough there. Anyway, let's turn that back off now. And up next, we're going to need to try and get the Feral Bite debuff. So I'm going to have God mode enabled, switching between enabling and disabling, because we're in Master mode right now. So with 61 defense, these bats still do a lot of damage. You can see they're dealing a lot of damage. Alright, now we have the Feral Bite debuff for 2 minutes, so let's turn that back off. Then we're going to switch back to the other armor set. We're going to sit in here, move in, grab the life boosters, and you will see that we had 880 damage on the Meow Me. It's sort of like when I'm not swimming the Psycho Knife. 1482 damage. That could have been higher with the Nebulas increasing the damage as well. That is absolutely insane. Anyway, we can see here that it's dealing a nice 4k DPS at this point in time, and that's doing alright. However, this obviously isn't the largest DPS loadout. You've got the Zenith for that. You've also got, you have to have crit chance and melee speed influencing the loadout as well. But that's how we do it for there. So some of you are probably wondering about the Striking Moment buff, which you get from parrying an attack using the Sergeant United shield or the Brand of the Inferno, and this increases melee, the next melee attack by 500%. Unfortunately, this doesn't actually increase your base damage, it's just a buff. So whilst a melee attack with that buff active will increase by 500, it won't actually be shown with the base damage, as we can see on the weapons here. It doesn't change the base damage with or without the buff active. Alright, so now with that done, let's switch over to the ranged loadout. This one's a little bit simpler. So for the ranged loadout, we're going to be taking off these accessories here. These are melee based gear here. Okay, moving on to the range loadout now. We have the same 4 base accessories. We also have the same main 2 buffs going on here. The difference is we have 3 new accessories. We have the Menacing Sniper Scope, the Menacing Recon Scope, and the Menacing Ranger Emblem. On top of that, we have the Vortex Armor, which has the built-in stealth mode, which is fantastic, and the weapon of choice is the Ruthless Sniper Rifle. Now, the Fishron mount will actually not be as useful in this one because you can't be in stealth mode whilst on the Fishron mount. So we'll consider that one pretty useless for now. You don't need to be in this honey here, but you still need to go through the procedure of using the Bloodthorn to get those damage boosters. Okay, so we have 1 minute of Feral Bite there. We have to do this quickly. 53 seconds. All right, let's hop out. Let's get these damage bonuses. Let's get this sniper rifle. Let's chuck it into 874 range damage. We also have 80 damage from the Luminite bullets. Now it's down to 841. We can see some insane snipes here because we have over 100% crit chance anyway, so it's practically doubled the damage. I'm getting some amazing shots going there. Okay, I just saw 2010 damage in a single shot. Before I continue on, I just want to say that this video has been brought to you by the official MTEN Discord. As of recording, I'm currently hosting a building contest on there for the best cavern pylon themed house. So if you want to participate in that, check out the builds or participate in other Discord events with the MTEN community, such as Scribble.io games. Make sure to join using the link in the description. Looking forward to seeing you all there. Anyway, let's hop back into the video. Alright, with that done, let's check out the Mage loadout. Now, the Mage loadout is interesting. We have some new buffs implemented. We have the Magic Power Potion, and we have the Clairvoyance buff. As far as accessories go, well, we've got the Celestial Emblem and the Sorcerer Emblem, but we have an accessory slot spare, so what I'm going to do is just chuck on any random other accessory that just has the Menacing buff on it anyway, so that doesn't matter that much. I will be trading in the Nebula Armor for the Chlorophyte Headgear, Dark Artist's Robes, and the Nebula Leggings. This increases base damage by 16%, 30%, and 10% respectively, and overall provides a bigger increase than the Nebula Armor on its own. However, I will be switching into it for the Nebula buffs. My weapon of choice is the Nebula Blaze. It has the highest base damage of any magic weapon with 130, and the modifier on this is not Ruthless, it is Demonic because this weapon has no knockback and therefore the Ruthless modifier is not available for this weapon. Demonic is your next best bet with 15% increase. So let's undergo the same process here. Alright, and we can see 537 magic damage, which I reckon personally is pretty incredible. Go, lots of damage being dealt there. Nice 3k DPS. Okay, and now onto Summoner. So Summoner, we obviously have three different types of weapons for Summoner. We have the minions, we have the sentries, and we have the whips. So I'm going to be going over all three. Start off with the Terra Prisma, which is the minion with the highest base damage. We have the Ballista Staff and the Morning Star. So let's take a look at the accessories we're using as well. Papyrus Scarab, Menacing Summoner Emblem, Menacing Hercules Beetle, and we're going to be removing the Putrid Scent with the Necromantic Scroll. As far as armor goes, we're also not using the Stardust armor, we're only using the Stardust helmet, we're using the Dark Artist's robes, and we're going to be using the Red Riding's leggings. So let's have a look at this. Increases minion damage by 22, 30% there, increased by 25%. This is 15%, 15%, 15%, 10%, 10%, 12%, and 10% there. So a big lot of increases across the board. We can see The Ruthless Morningstar already has 693 summon damage in its sights, which is incredible. But, of course, we have to do the same method that we were doing before. Alright, we've got 34 seconds of Feral Bite, so let's get out of here. Let's get these buffs active. And we have 831 damage from the Morningstar, 646 damage from the Ballista Staff, and 415 from the Terra Prisma. That is an incredible effort across the board here. There we go. Look at that. Disgusting. Disgusting. And ironically, with this loadout, we can only summon 2 minions, but we can summon one sentry, I think. Anyway, that is enormous damage from the Morningstar there. So that is the loadout that we want for summoners to achieve their maximum damage potential. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. We are at the end of this video now, which means if you have made it to the end of the video, you know what to do. Comment treasure bag down below so that I know you have made it to the end of the video, and I'll be responding to comments down in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching and making it to the end. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, and turn on notifications for more max stats videos coming soon in other top 5 weapons list, master mode multiplayer Terraria Let's Play, and various other Terraria videos. If that sounds like something you want to watch, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications for more uploads coming soon. Thank you so much for watching everyone, and I will see you all next time. Bye.